Hello, Josee. How are you?
I am good, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining today and spending a little bit of time sharing your experience training with me during this couple of years. I cannot believe I only know you for 2 years because it feels like I know you for a little bit longer.
I know, that's true.
And
Well,
we've been
it's my
training.
pleasure. It's the least I can do for all of the results that you give me.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. And we will be talking about that. I remember when I met you that you were pregnant with your
Mhm.
second child.
That's
And
the very
I
first
don't,
time we met. And I remember telling you, oh, nice to meet you. I am going to need you very shortly.
I remember that too. And I said, yeah, I have experience training women before, during, and after pregnancy. But yes, it's always better if I have not trained you during your pregnancy or before that we wait until you actually
Yeah,
have the baby. And that's what
exactly.
we did.
Exactly.
I cannot believe that your little baby has 2 years now and that's been that long. Wow, that's crazy. Well,
Two, 2.5. Yeah,
2.5, that's
it was
right. Wow.
crazy. Yes.
So what was the biggest challenge that you have before we started working together? I mean, you were in great shape. Yeah, I remember
My
meeting you.
biggest
You were in
problem
break.
before I met you is I was like this big. And I wanted to lose the weight faster than I did the first time around because with my first daughter it took me a long time. And I just, I wanted to get serious about it. So I was like, getting a personal trainer seems like it's the way to go. Plus I knew I didn't want any other kids, so I really wanted to get back to my original shape.
And have you?
I sure have, very quickly on top of everything. I think the first time oh my gosh, I can't even remember how long it took me. But I want to say that after working with you, it took like way less than a year. Way less
Yeah.
than a year. Because, for some people, it takes time to get that baby weight off. And it was pretty quick
Yeah.
compared to the first time around. So, I can say like really I have two things to compare, and the only thing I did different is to hire a personal trainer. So, I know that that was the factor that made the difference.
All right. And thank you for saying that because I was actually going to mention that what was the difference. And I think I remember the first time you were doing it by yourself. This time you decided to, you know, sort of have the support of somebody that can push you a little farther, right? That you will
Yeah.
normally do and achieve those results faster. So, and good for you, smart. And I
Yeah,
don't know
and
about
also
no.
I like the idea, when you talk about like doing that your kind of exercises, it's like it doesn't work only the big group of muscles, it works the small ones like all around. And so your body's metabolism is like way better.
Yeah, so this is one of the things about, the technique that I do that and that's what I think a lot of people are attracted to. And one of the things that attracted me at the beginning is true, we don't work the smaller muscle groups, but we work the bigger muscle groups. Those are the ones that we focus. So when we are talking about metabolism, as you will say, the bigger the muscle group that we work on, the more muscle mass we are creating. And the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism is going to be. So the key is that even at rest, you're going to be spending calories, even when you are sleeping. So it's not as important how many calories you spend when you're exercising, as a lot of people tend to believe. Unfortunately, it's a
Mhm.
myth. It's actually more important how much muscle you have that you are using those
Right.
calories even at rest. And that's what you, I think, experience as a difference.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And
Yeah,
now I can do like, well, it depends on the day, right? But you've seen me do like 14 push-ups, I
I
believe.
know. I talk to you about everybody. I mean, you are the one woman that does more push-ups than anybody else. So you are a great role model for the rest. And I was like, 14 push-ups. I mean, everybody on their own
I love the
level, but
title.
yeah, I love the title. You're the push-up mama. We're gonna call you the push-up mama.
That's
So
awesome.
you mentioned that a little bit, but can you be more like specific about what kind of results did you get working once a week, right? Because we started, and in your case, it's been very different than other people, because I started training you online when you first had your baby, you know, just a few weeks after, I remember. And then you trained with me in person for a little while at the studio. And now you're doing the group classes. So you kind of have tried it all, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I want to get to that later. So I don't want to confuse the question, but what specific results, apart from what you have said, you know, from the weekly workouts, either online at first, in person, or the group classes, have you experienced? What things can you send? Can you share?
If I compare the two,
Not comparing yet. Let's just figure out what have been something that is specifically,
like in general, what kind of weekly results? Yeah. Well, just feeling like strong, and I mean, because I really don't feel that before working out with you, I was able to do 14 push-ups. It took a build up to get there, and it's not something that I could do if I was to stop, you know, working out with you.
Yeah.
So just this is just, it shows you like how much strength you get. Like, you know, I can say like for a fact, because I can or I can't do 14 push-ups, right? So I'm much stronger. I mean, as far as weight goes, I lost it quicker, as I said. I mean, I maintain it. It's all good. I feel like it helps me do that. It helps me maintain it and keep my metabolism, like, you know, running good, and it keeps me strong.
Good. Yeah. So it's strength and keeping your weight. I mean, I think those are two key things that people always want to do when they work out, right? It's like, if you can get it stronger. How many push-ups were you doing before you started training with me? Do you remember? I
was not really counting them. And that's one. Two, I was doing like those super quick ones. And that it's not the same thing. Like doing your push-ups and the quick ones is not the same thing. And so I don't know. I was not really paying attention to that. I only started paying really attention when I started working out with you, because it made me realize, like, man, you know, that's a really good gauge to know like how I'm doing as far as strength goes and all this, to know how many push-ups I can do, or whether it's push-up or sit-ups or squats or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that's a key thing that you've said, because every time when I start training somebody that is coming from conventional training, and I ask them how many push-ups they can do, right? Particularly guys, oh, I can do 20 push-ups. And then they start doing the slow push-ups, which is 10 seconds coming down, 10 seconds lifting yourself up. Most people can start with like 4 guys, 3, 4. More than that is usually pretty hard, right? So it does make a big difference how many you can do, because of the intensity of the work and the speed of the work. And also you don't have the training on it or the practice of it, right? So the more you do it, the more you are getting now, which is also the key, the practice of every week perfecting them and making them better, right? But yeah, the speed, as you mentioned, is important. Yeah, that's good. Was there something that surprised you about the results? And I think you've talked about it a little bit, but something you were like, wow, this is definitely different, or in which way were any?
For me, mainly was like, wow, like that's pretty amazing how quickly I lost the weight. Aside from this and the strength, I mean, I've always been a very athletic person. You know, like it comes to me naturally. So just those two things were like a pretty big teller as far as like, the quality of this kind of training and like how different it is. Because I've done like everything under the sun, and nothing has really made me feel like I was stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, so stronger, so more strength gains and faster results. That's also amazing. Yeah. I'm going to have you as my picture perfect marketing person, because you send the things that most people want. They want to build strength, they want to keep their weight, and they want to do it fast. That's it. That's it. I got it. I got the secret to it in a pill form. But it's not a
Exactly.
pill form, right? It's not. Is it challenging or is it easy?
Well, okay, so the other thing is when I work out, like, I still do my, workouts at the gym. Like I, I like to work out more than once a week. So I kind of complement your workout with other things. And where was I going with this?
Is it easy? I said if it's easy.
Oh,
That was my
oh
question.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I don't sweat very easily. It's like I do these classes and everyone's sweating around and like, like. And so I remember the first time I did your workout, I felt like a furnace. Like I felt like I was like burning from the inside out. Like I had never experienced that in my life before. So I was like, oh my God. Um, but then I got kind of used to it. So it's not like this, like every time I work out, but like, it was just like, wow, this is something else.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's that body here, that intensity of the workout that is a little bit different than others.
Yeah.
But also it's a good thing that you said, because when you go to other workouts, you feel like people are struggling more than you. So what the workout has also done is improve your endurance in a way. Will you say that?
Probably. I remember like last week even I was in the workout class and I usually use the 10 pounders when everyone else is using the 7.5. And I'm still going the same, same as, and some people use just 5 pounds and I'm going the same like pace. And this lady came to me and she's like, you are really strong. And I was like, oh. I mean, if other people comment in the class about how strong you are, it's because you're doing something right.
That's very important. I'm gonna have to go to those classes with you just so you can say, yeah, this is my trainer here. This is
Exactly.
now, apart from all this, what do you remember has been, or what do you think is the most valuable thing about working together? And you've mentioned a few already, but what would be like your top one that you've learned that maybe you are applying to other things, so that that's something that you will never change anymore from the way that you work out, or
Um, hmm. Well, all of the things I've said before are probably the most valuable, but I also like the accountability. Like, I don't picture myself doing this by myself.
right?
Like, it's such like I'm sure some people could, but I don't know. It's such like a very such a specific and intense type of exercises that I like to have the accountability, and also you telling us like, hey, now do this more this way, that way, because we make sure that we do it right,
Mm-hmm.
to make
Mm-hmm.
sure like we get the most out of it.
Yeah, so the accountability and the proper form. And I think it's one of the struggles for most people when they go to the gym, and it kind of kills me. Well, number one is
Yeah,
like,
there's none of those two things.
no, there's actually a shame, but there's some research that I looked at a few years ago, and it's probably not very different these days, where most people that have a gym membership never use it. So it's a very high percentage. So,
Mhm.
in essence, you are throwing money away. Because yes, the accountability piece I think is very important. You have an appointment, you have a commitment to meet with me, right? Either if
Yeah,
it's privately or if it's on a group
yeah,
setting, and that makes you do it. And then the second thing that most people struggle with is getting injured when they are exercising, because they don't know what they are doing, right? And it's unfortunate. I mean, exercising is like everything else. If you don't know how to do it, you're going to damage yourself. So having someone that can teach you proper form, even if it's just for a few sessions to get that ball rolling, and then you can do it again. And I'm going to add one more thing that you didn't really mention, but I think those little adjustments or changes in form make the exercise also more intense and more effective, right?
mhm,
Because it changes the way that you're doing it in a way that challenges your body more. So,
right,
so those are very important pieces, and thank God for that, because otherwise I would be out of business. Accountability and form, that's what
right.
people need me for. So yes, good. So now we were talking about it a little bit before. So you, in these 2 years, you've been doing the private online, the private in person, and the group classes.
Mm-hmm.
What are the maybe advantages or disadvantages of each of them, or which one do you prefer, and which one would you recommend depending on the place where you are in life? Because you've tried it all. That's great.
You know, it's funny because I am cool with both. Like, I think the machines, I feel like it's fun to know that you have this very specific weight that you can do, and with how many reps and all this. So that's satisfying. However, we never did the push-ups in those sessions. So I didn't have this gauge there. In the online classes, I have this gauge, the push-ups, and it's so convenient because I don't have to go anywhere. It saves me like all that time on the road. And there's other people, which is kind of fun to feel like you're part of a group. And yet there's something nice about knowing that you can do whatever exercises, like not depending on a machine.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And just do it from home with your own body weight and just free weight.
Yeah, there's something nice about that, like the freedom of knowing I can do this anywhere.
Right. Whatever you are. That's great.
Yeah.
And what has been like the main difference, if any, between the private and the group classes? What?
Well, the private, I mean, when we did it in person, so nothing beats that. Like, I have you all for myself, and you just focus on me, myself, and I. Get all of your attention, and then we joke around. In a group, I mean, I don't have all your attention. It's in a group, like, virtually, so it's not the same as in person, but the price point comes with it. I mean, it's very affordable, so to me it's kind of like a no-brainer.
Okay, now I'm gonna put you on the spot, but this is gonna be in recording, so whatever you say, I can remind you a few months from now. Okay. What are your main, I mean, you got your goal, which your goal was to lose your baby weight, right? And that was accomplished, which is great. You're maintaining your weight, which is wonderful. You're increasing your strength. But do you have any other goals, like any tangible goals in the next year or so that you would like to achieve with your
in the next what?
The next year or so, like by the end of the year or something like that, and the next 6 months to a year.
Physically, like with my working out?
Yeah, or just physically, yeah, with your own body weight.
I'm very, very content and satisfied. I just want to keep it going just the way it is.
Okay, so it's maintenance, pretty much.
Yeah,
maintenance.
Yeah,
great.
Like, I feel like I'm strong, and I'm not here to be a professional weightlifter. So this, however I'm doing right now, is like cool with me. I'm happy.
Are you sure? Because I'm sure I could train you for like a bathing suit.
Bathing suit, like muscle
or muscle competition. I think you'll do pretty well. Are you sure you are not up for that? Now that you have your babies, you don't want anymore.
Pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. So yeah, no, I just want to keep it going, baby.
You're very content. I like it. That's a good thing, to achieve your goals and not have anything else but just maintaining and just be happy with that. That's awesome.
Maybe get to 15 push-ups. We'll give it that.
15 push-ups. All right. Hey, I'm recording
on a good day. On a good day.
And with good form and going slowly, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's your goal. You got it. Now, what else? I really appreciate you talking about this and explaining, how it works. It's just because I think it can be very helpful to other people that will be listening to it. So thank you so
Yeah.
much. It is good to talk to you anyway, because I see you all the time, but we talk about other things, but we don't really work about exercise as much. So it's just
Yeah.
good to know where you are and how you're feeling about things.
Thank you. I just want to add one more thing that I feel we might not have touched upon is this method that you're using and how different it is from everything else in terms of safety and in terms of results. Because you were saying like, it helps other people. So, if other people are going to see this, I just want to reiterate how big of a difference it makes in one's like fitness level in a safe way. And and my time is very limited, and the time efficiency of this workout is awesome. Like
Yeah.
that's one major benefit.
Yeah. And that's one of I think thank you for saying that, because I think it's so important to remember that it's not just, yes, it does save time, right? Because it's only 45 minutes a week and that's it. You're good. And yes, you like to do other things and that's great. And there's most people do something else, but I have people that don't do anything else. And this is just the baseline, right? This is how they stay fit. But the time efficiency is amazing, and the safety, because we are moving that slowly. So you are preventing the risk of injury is huge. And those are the two things that I always think about this technique, and that's what drew me to it when I first started. So thank you for that reminder. That is very important.
Because I have this gal at my gym. She's always kind of behind me in the class, and she's kind of like damaged, like she's hurt, like her arm or elbow or shoulder, whatever. And she told me that's because of the teachers there, like they don't teach properly how to lift weights and stuff, and she's hurt herself. So it makes a big difference.
And it's unfortunate, and it happens often, right? And there's a lot of good people out there as well, and it's great that there are, and those are the ones that you want to find, the ones that are going to help you either prevent the injury or recover from them when you have them. I mean, in my programs, I'm always telling people, if you feel any sharp pain, stop right away. There's no point of continuing. You want to feel the muscle burning and working when you exercise, or like you said before, your body become a furnace of heat. That's great, but any sharp pain should be completely avoided. And if you have any injuries, it's more important, particularly like you said, elbows, knees, shoulders. You want to work with somebody that can help you find the movements that are going to prevent you from re-injuring and also recovering from those injuries as well, because there are things that you can do always in order to be able to recover. So it's important to find those good positions and movements that work for each person in each situation. So that is so important. Yeah, thank you for saying that. Just give her my number next time you see her. I'll give you my card, and you can just say, yeah, you need to call this person right here.
I'll tell her about you.
Okay, that's good.
That's good.
I like it. Thank you very much. I just got myself a referral. This was supposed to be an interview, but you see, it works for
you
people.
You always get referrals from me.
That's right. That's right. I do. Thank you. I always appreciate them too. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Are we?
Yeah. Anything else that comes to mind, or that?
No, I think I pretty much said everything that I expected to say or that I wanted to say.
Thank you. And now I'm going to hold you accountable for that 15 push-ups. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned for your 15 push-ups coming up soon on video. Hey, we could do that. We could actually do a video of you doing 15 push-ups pretty soon. I think that would be awesome. Let's do it. Yes? Yes,
that would have to be on a good day, as I said.
On a good day. Once you get them done, then we'll do the video about it. I love it. Perfect. Okay. We'll continue. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye.